Pay him, trade him. Pay him, trade him. What should the Jets do? That's the question for Joe Douglas. We talk about it next. All right, everybody, welcome back to the Sports Talk Nation. Michael Cohen here with you. We are just 2 days away from the virtual NFL draft, which will take place on Thursday. And of course, the Jets are a topic of discussion when it comes to the NFL draft. What else is new? Of course, a lot of this all surrounding and swirling around the drama that has become the Jamal Adams situation with the New York Jets. And a lot of this stemming from the report that came out earlier this week, going into the end of the weekend, that Jamal Adams, not happy with the end of his rookie contract, wants an extension, and he will hold out from the Jets' voluntary, emphasis on voluntary, virtual off-season program, which begins on the April 27th next week. And now the discussion that has been surrounding the media, people have been asking General Manager Joe Douglas all week, what are the Jets going to do? Are they going to keep Jamal Adams? Are they going to give him a contract extension? Or are they going to trade him? Of course, Douglas has come out. He has come out repeatedly, and this is an issue that's been going on with the Jets for some time, said that he wants Jamal Adams to be a Jet for life. Really, all he said was he'll talk to Jamal Adams after the draft. Now, whether that means the Jets are going to keep Jamal Adams, whether that means they're going to give him a contract extension or trade him, we don't know right now. One thing that Douglas did say that was very interesting is that he said that he would be open to talking to anybody about any player, basically, except for Sam Darnold, who he considers untouchable. He does not consider Jamal Adams, quote-unquote, untouchable. And he is going to do his job that's best for the team. And I can certainly understand where Joe Douglas is coming from. Look, he has a responsibility as the general manager with a 6-year contract, okay, that he got last May when he took the job from Mike McCagnon, to go out there and explore every option and every avenue that he can to improve the football team. And if that means he has to consider trading a very good player in Jamal Adams, maybe the best player on this defense, for that matter, if it helps the team improve long-term as far as compensation, draft picks, maybe even a player coming back in return, he has to consider that. That's his job. So he can't just sit there and say, you know what, I'm not going to do it at all, because then he's just defeating his own purpose. He has to at least explore it. The question is, what kind of contract is he looking for? Keep in mind, let's just bring up these numbers right now. We know that the highest paid, that the safety position is not considered by NFL standards as a premium position. The premium position, of course, being quarterback. Russell Wilson, the highest paid quarterback in the NFL right now, $35 billion annually. Wide receiver is considered a premium position. Edge pass rusher is considered a premium position. Left tackle considered a premium position. Safety is not considered a premium position. And the highest paid salary right now to a safety is Eddie Jackson of the Chicago Bears at $14.6 million annually. After him, you have Kevin Baird of the Tennessee Titans at $14.1, then Tyrann Mathieu at $14 million with the Kansas City Chiefs. You go up and down that list, Jamal Adams all the way right now with the end of his rookie contract making about $5.5 million, ranked 26th in the NFL. Obviously, he certainly is a better player than Eddie Jackson is, and certainly Kevin Baird for that matter. And he feels he should be the highest paid safety in the National Football League. And that day may come. And it certainly may come, maybe not with the Jets, but may come with somebody. What is his demand? He certainly wants to be paid more than $14.5 million, $15, $16 million. Does he want $20 million? That's asking a lot, again, for what is not considered a premium position. Another factor here in the Jets' thinking has to be this. They don't have to make any kind of move, for that matter. If they don't have to do anything with Jamal Adams right now, because Adams is signed for the rest of this year, $3.5 million. They have an option for next year that will pay Adams 9.9, pretty much $10 million. Let's just round it off. $10 million in 2021 for a fifth-year option. And then they can franchise tag him in 2022. So basically, he is still here, technically, for 3 more seasons, including this upcoming one in 2020. So there's no rush here for the Jets to go out there and make a move. Now, if they were to trade him, what would Joe Douglas look for? Now, remember, Back in October, the Jets considered trading Jamal Adams to the Dallas Cowboys for a first, fourth, and fifth round picks. That's what Dallas offered. The Jets rejected it. They wanted the first round pick and 2 second-round picks. That's why the deal fell apart. Jamal Adams, of course, gets whiff of that, goes on Twitter, rants that he feels betrayed by the Jets, says has not like anything like the conversation that he had with Joe Douglas or Adam Gase, and he felt basically betrayed by the Jets. And that has created this rift, this apparent rift that exists and has existed between the two camps. And that's the reason why we're here today. That's the reason why we are still here talking about this, whether the Jets are going to trade Jamal Adams or not. And you have to wonder, and I just in doing some more research, you have to wonder whether Jamal Adams really wants to be here. Even Sports Illustrated's Peter King, big-time NFL insider, right? He said that there's a good chance that Jamal Adams wants out. So, if that's the case, it's really a question of when is that going to happen. If the Jets aren't going to be able to come to terms on a long-term contract, and if they're going to drag this thing out, or they're going to trade him, and what are they going to get for that? Remember, as I just alluded to, they tried to trade him to Dallas. They wanted the first and a couple second-round picks. Do they want a couple of first-round picks if they try to deal him again this time? And here we are on the eve, basically, of the NFL draft. Do they come up with some kind of package, let's say with Dallas, let's say with, I heard for some reason, Tampa Bay being a potential suitor, Baltimore, whoever, okay? Let's just say they find somebody that is a suitor here. What do the Jets want back? You would imagine the first-round pick, couple second-round picks. Do they want a starter in return? Those are questions that I'm sure Joe Douglas and his staff are working around the phones, trying to find out what they can get from teams for a player like this. And look, Jamal Adams is a talented player. Very, very good player. Easily the best player on this team, especially on the defensive side of the football. When you have that kind of player, you should try to find a way to keep him. You should. Granted, it is not a premium position, as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, not a premium position that Jamal Adams plays. But he's still a leader in the clubhouse. He's still a guy who has a lot of passion for the game. And as I said, a very, very good player. An excellent football player. You would hate to see that kind of player leave the building. At the same time, if he's going to go out there and, pontificate on Twitter about how bad he feels about the organization, and express his own frustrations consistently, the Jets are going to have no choice but to move on. And even if they move on, is it the end of the world? Is it the worst thing that could happen to the Jets right now for a team that, let's be honest, still does not have an identity? They've been going through this so-called rebuild for now 3+ years, still don't have an identity. You have a head coach that, let's be honest, nobody likes, okay, in Adam Gase. You have a general manager who's basically 11 months into the job. You have a quarterback who's been underachieving so far the first 2 years, not going into a third year. They're still trying to rebuild around him, still trying to build an offensive line around him. You want to take a look at the moves they made this offseason. Outside of Connor McGovern in the center, they didn't do a whole heck of a lot as far as finding top starters, for that matter, to fill out the rest of the positions of tackle and guard. And we'll see if the Jets end up drafting a big tackle on Thursday. We'll find out. Or if they get a receiver. And they still need a receiver. So this team is still rebuilding. Now, 3 years into this movement to try to fix this team. Do I think Jamal Adams could be a piece that could be a key cog in that rebuild? He probably should be. But the Jets, it seems like, will do anything they can to, quote-unquote, improve the team by getting more picks. We'll see if they do trade him or not. We'll see if they give him a contract or not. But right now, it is a situation that could become quite ugly pretty quickly. So leave your thoughts, folks. Let me know what you think. Should the Jets come to terms with Jamal Adams on a contract, applying upwards of $15 million a year or more? Should they trade him and get picks? What are your thoughts? Leave it down below. Remember to like and subscribe, and right here on the Sports Talk Nation on YouTube, and follow us on Twitter at OpenMikeNJ and Facebook.com/OpenMikeProgram. Talk to you next time.